Hey y'all, my name is Kim and this is a girl on her phone. Today I am doing a recipe for the Cookopoly series thought up by Weight Watchers with Carrie. Now, Carrie came up with a very clever concept. Cookopoly is a riff on Monopoly. I'm going to link the video downstairs so you can see her week 1 roll. So there's a handful of us that she invited, and thank you, Carrie, for letting me be a part of this because I think it's just really, really cool. And once each week, she will roll your piece and go around the Monopoly board. And what you land on, that's what you do. So this week, our first roll, I landed on a low point chicken dinner. So what we're going to make today is a stuffed chicken roll-up with homemade gravy. So stick around and we will get started. Alrighty, now, the first thing we have to do is to get our chicken ready to roll up. And the first thing I have to do is put on my glove. I get these at the Dollar Tree, 100 to a pack. My subscribers that I have now, bless their hearts, they know I cannot stand touching raw meat, especially chicken. That and hamburger meat. I can't stand that. I can't stand that grease on my hands. So if you have the same issue, Dollar Tree, best friend. First thing I want to do is trim these pieces. These things right there, we don't want that. So let's just trim these things off. And I don't really care if I take a little bit of chicken with it, just because if my husband gets a piece of that, he'll gag. He has his own thing, and gristles or tendons, that type of thing in chicken, he about can't finish his supper if he gets that in his mouth. So I will sacrifice a little bit of chicken just to make sure that doesn't happen. So I'm going to finish trimming these up and I'll be right back. Alrighty, now I've got the chicken trimmed. Remove this. Now, we're not going to butterfly these. We're going to roll them. So this is way too thick for that. I get this. I got it from the Pampered Chef. You do not need this. This is just something that helps me to hold it and to get a more even cut than I would just on my own. If you're good at that, you go ahead. I'm just not. So what you do is spring loaded. Put your chicken, and these are awful big, so you see it's going to lay over the side. Close the lid, push it down, take your knife, go try to get in the middle, because sometimes I get one that's maybe a little thinner than the other, so we're going to try to get this even. So just cut your knife. Make sure your knife is good and sharp. Go through. And we have 2 nice thin chicken breasts, which I do this if I buy these in bulk. I do this because, you know, the chickens that they sell these days are just way, way too big. Now that we have all of our chicken thinner, we're going to pound it out. So get several good-sized layers of plastic. I kind of like to double it up. I will use any tool in the house to keep from touching this. Let me get another plate. Okay, I'm sorry. I needed a plate to put my other chickens on. So get this. Get another layer. Let's go ahead and put 2 on top. And I'm going to pound it with this, but I'm going to spare you the racket. Now we've got this pounded. I have already fiddled around and found the corner. So just peel it back. Carefully kind of keep that together because we're going to use it for all of these. Now, you want to pound it flat enough to be like this, but don't mangle it. I'm not going to make a promise that I won't end up with at least one mangled chicken. So I'm going to finish doing all these and be back. I have my meat pounded out as good as that I want it to be. Now, you are about to see something on a girl on her phone that is going to be like the sighting of a bald eagle. You might see it once or twice in your lifetime if you are lucky. I'm going to touch this chicken to roll it up. Those gloves will come off. You ought to see me when I'm trying to make a meatloaf from anything that uses ground beef. Ooh, it just sticks like crazy. So I'm going to bite the bullet and I'm going in. I'm going in, y'all. Now, anytime I can do cooking on an assembly line, that's how I like to do it. It just seems to me like it makes things go faster. So I'm going to lay my chicken. See, I told you I'd have one that's mangled. So there it is. I had 3 chicken breasts. And you can see some of them were a whole lot bigger than the others. So we're getting 6 out of this. Now, if you've never seen me, I use Paula Deen's house seasoning. I put it on everything, pretty much everything. I will link her webpage that has the recipe on it. There is an option to use onion powder or not onion powder. I choose that option. So if you are interested, go check it out. Otherwise, just go ahead and use your salt and pepper, or just onion, or just garlic, however you want to do it. But always try to season your meat. I've said it before. What you're cooking, did I not turn that one over? What you're cooking is going to have flavor, but you want your meat to have flavor as well. So we don't want too much because, you know, the stuffing could get a little salty. This is just a box of store brand stovetop stuffing. That is all it is. I read through the recipe builder. I'll pop up on the screen because I can't remember. I'm bad about remembering, y'all. I'm sorry. But there's enough for a 1/4 cup on each chicken. And then whatever you have left, just give it to your husband or your wife or your kids, or whoever, just to let them eat it, and then just get it out of your sight. So we're going to start. Putting 1/2 cup. I'm just going to put it down the middle right now. No, a 1/4 cup. See how much stuffing you have left? The points value of this little bit is not much. It seems like I'm remembering too. Like I told you, I'll put it up. Now, kind of, don't put it all the way to the edge, because when you roll it up, it will squeeze it out. So just kind of right in the middle. Take it at one end and tight, but not to the point that your stuffing is oozing completely out. Just kind of pull that up. Now, obviously, these toothpicks, I will not use the ones that are left since I have this raw chicken on my hands. Let's see, we might, I got a little broken hole right there. Let's just close it up. if I can sew it up. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, we got that now. See, it will come out a little bit, but that's okay. Now let me finish rolling these up, and we'll go to our next step. I started putting my oil in before I started talking. I have my chicken rolled out. It's ready to go in the pan. Got my pan hot. I'm using the avocado oil that I get from Aldi's. I have found out that I like it better than olive oil. You can use either one. Just so you know, I don't count it. What I put in this pan, how much that is, tablespoon? I don't know. 3 teaspoons is a tablespoon. I don't know if it's that much or not. But I don't count that. If you count your oil, you be sure and measure it. And then you divide out to get your points. So don't go by mine if you measure your oil. Now, I'm not going to coat these in flour because they really don't need it. It probably wouldn't add maybe a point because it wouldn't take much to dust them. But they don't need them. Now, I would normally like to make this in a cast iron pan because we're going to make gravy. And when I make gravy, I like to make it in cast iron. But I opted to go this route because I realize everybody does not have cast iron. And I don't want anybody to feel excluded, like maybe the recipe's not going to turn out right, or you know, something like that. So we're just going to do it in this non-stick pan. Now I'm just going to let this go, start browning, and when I get ready to flip it, I'll be back to you. I believe it's time to flip the chicken. So carefully. See that nice color we get on there? That's what we're looking for. You can tell some of those I had to put a couple toothpicks in because the chicken was broken in some spots. These big pans are bad about not getting even hot spots around there, aren't they? Just let that go. And we'll be back. As you can tell, I had to turn some of them sideways to get the edges brown. As you can also tell, the other side got a little bit brown. I got busy calculating the gravy we're going to make, and as per my usual, got a little bit too high and too done. So just remove these. Now what I'm going to do, normally I would go straight into this pan, but it's just a little bit dark in here for my taste for the gravy, and I'm afraid it might have a little bit of a burnt flavor. I'm not sure, but see how black that come off? So if you want to, just take your little paper towel and just get that mess out of there. Okay, hopefully I'm gonna not mess this up. Now instead of butter or bacon grease, we're gonna use the Country Crock Light, 1 point per tablespoon. Now we're gonna give it enough to make the gravy work good. This one's a little bit melty because I had it sitting out doing something else. Let me sit that back there. I don't want it to completely burn up when I'm still dipping out. So this will equal a stick. Okay, I decided to stop at 6 because I think that is going to be enough. When I made my tater soup, it was real dry and crumbly, but it was easier to blend in because it was the cast iron. It is a more even heat. So I didn't want to take a chance by putting too little in there. So I know it's going to affect the points whenever I can get the app working right. I have a half a cup of all-purpose flour. Let's just sprinkle it in. I'm not very good left-handed. Just stir it around. Might not need that whole half a cup. Let's see. This spread is a great substitute, but you can see it's not the same properties of, say, real butter or real bacon grease. Just cook it just a little bit. Now I made 1 cup of bouillon, just regular chicken bouillon. I like to do half and half. Chicken bouillon for some flavor and milk for cream. Just do little bits at a time. So if you pour this whole thing in there, you're going to have a jumbled up mess. You'll about never get it to come together to a gravy. Now, if you got lumps like me, it's okay. Lumpy gravy ain't never killed nobody. Okay, let me get my milk. I got just skim milk. One cup. So you can see little lumps in there. I ain't worried about that. I ain't gonna stroke out over no gravy lumps. If you don't like them, though, you can get a little sieve and press it through that. You can absolutely do that. I calculated the gravy points while I was letting it cook here a little bit. I'm about to let it get that little skin. Now, you see the consistency it is right now? Before we do anything else, let's taste it right quick. We'll see if we need any more bouillon or salt, pepper, before we put the chicken in there. That tastes all right to me. It's not too strong. Just a light gravy taste. Light chicken. So let's turn it down. We're going to put our little chickens back in here, because we want to make sure they are cooked. See how that is still a little bit raw right there? We need to make sure that these chickens are cooked through. I am subject to always serve overcooked chicken simply because I worry that I'm not going to get it completely done. So we sometimes eat dry chicken. I shouldn't tell y'all that when I'm standing here cooking you chicken. But if you've watched me long enough to know, you know I don't lie to y'all. Y'all just get me. What does my description say? You get me warts and all. And I got some warts. Now, we left that a little loose like that because we want it to cook. And it's going to thicken up some more as it cooks this chicken. So cover it up. We got it about medium. I'm going to let it go probably 5 minutes. And then I'm going to flip the chicken over. I've cooked this chicken on each side for 5 minutes. And since it was pretty good and done when we first browned it, I think that's going to be enough. Now, let's move them out. Turn them upside down. Now, what little bit of gravy is sticking to this, I'm not trying to count it because I don't even know how. But let's turn them up so we can get these toothpicks out. Last thing you want is somebody eating a toothpick. Oh my goodness. So what we're going to do, whoa, that is hot. Well, that's really too big. Let's try them this. We're going to measure our gravy because I don't know how much it cooked down. A little thinner. You could probably leave it in the pan, cook it a little more, which is probably what I should do. But we've got this far now. I ain't turning back. That gives us, look at there, 1 cup of gravy. Now I calculated for 2 cups because I had 2 cups of liquid, but that shows you how much it cooked down over time. So I'm going to put you on hold, go plug this into my recipe builder, and tell you how many points this gravy is. We have 6 chickens, so we obviously want 6 gravies. 1 cup divided by 6 is 1/3 cup per serving. So we're going to test this portion out. We'll just take that one right there. Take the toothpick out. Stuck in there pretty good. There we go. Now, you can put this chicken on anything. You know there's a stuffing in it. But since you got gravy, if you were so inclined that you want to put it on some mashed taters, then guess what? Put it on your taters. They ain't no rules to this. There are no rules if you want to put it on rice. These are things that are good with gravy. If you just want to put it on your chicken, then just put it on your chicken. Like I said, you can eat what you want. You just calculate your points and, you know, there you go. So I'm going to see if I can... I'm going to attempt to cut this purty. I'm not making no promises. Get you a nice sharp knife. I'm kind of sawing at it to keep from breaking it. I'm just going to cut it into 4 just to keep y'all from being so bored. You can see where it rolled up, it's kind of falling apart. Now, granted, the end pieces are a little bad looking, so we'll kind of hide it there. See the nice roll of the stuffing? Now, if they fall apart like that, you can't help it where you rolled it up, so don't worry about it. I can't get those pretty on the plate. If you know how to decorate food, you decorate it, because I don't know how to decorate food. It ain't happening. So we're going to get 1/3 cup. Now you can see there's lumps in there. I told you, don't worry about that. What did I tell you? Why did I tell you 1/3 cup? In 1 cup, it is half of a Half of a 1/3 cup. What in the world? That would be, let's see, we're going to do by tablespoons. There are, I think, 16 tablespoons in a cup. Hold on. I'm back. I don't know how in the world I calculated that gravy. I even asked Alexa. I must have asked her the wrong question, or she understood me wrong or something. There ain't no 1/3 cup serving in this. Had it been 2 cups, it would have been 1/3 cup. So maybe I just said it wrong to her. But when I started scooping that out, I could tell that was way too much. Now there's 16 tablespoons in this 1 cup. 16 divided by 6 is almost 3 tablespoons. Actually, I think it's 2 tablespoons and 2 teaspoons. Y'all, am going to eyeball this. So 1, 2, and just get you a little part of 1. There you go. So there we have it. I am going to get a fork and a knife. So here we have a 4-point chicken. I don't know if you want to call this a dinner. I don't know if I understood properly. It should have sides with it or just the chicken itself. But easy. Add you some corn and some green beans. Still 4 points. Add you some broccoli and some beans. Still 4 points. That is not too hot. That is really good, y'all. So definitely don't add any more chicken bouillon, because that is just the right amount. It is not too salty, and it gives that gravy a good chicken flavor. So here you have it. Looks a mess, tastes delicious. Stuffed chicken roll up, 4 points. Little bit of work, not so bad. So give it a try. And thank you, Carrie, again for letting me do this. Can't wait to see what comes up next week.